Everyone, the meeting is being recorded and is part of public record. There's no public hearing or old items of discussion. Actually, we don't really have anything new to discuss. It is, after all, the July 4th weekend, and not a whole lot going on besides the day-to-day management. Unless you have anything you want to raise.
Well, the only thing that I thought, since the agenda was light, was that we would talk about how you want to handle the town hall meetings. Just because...
Yeah, that's not your problem.
Just because that's... The first one's going to be coming up next week. So next week or the week after. It's the 11th.
I believe.
Yeah. No, it's next week. Yeah, it's the 11th, isn't it? July 11th. Maybe it's up. I just printed out the new sheets. Anyway, I wanted to come up with
the 11th. We're going to miss the COG meeting. Joe's going to kill us.
No, we won't. It'll be fine. And the first one's down at Sheffield side because we're doing one in Glade, and we felt that was a pretty centralized location in the fire hall. Because I had a couple people from the city that called and were upset because we weren't doing one in the city, and I'm like, it's in Glade Fire Hall. It's right up the street. So, but what I thought, we scheduled, an hour and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure everybody was comfortable with the setup. What I figured is that each one of us could have 20 minutes to do a presentation at the beginning and then leave the rest of the time for questions. Like that would leave another 30 minutes for question and answer, or we could condense that down and say each one of us are going to do 10 minutes and then and then have a whole hour for questions, so that if whoever shows up will have time for there to be a dialogue between. The other thing was I was thinking about trying to get a moderator or have somebody there that would MC the events. I mean, we could, or you could just chair it, I guess. It's just it occurred to me that I'd set everything up and then just kind of felt like we would show up and do something, but I just wanted to make sure that you were comfortable with whatever it was we were going to do. The other thing is I wasn't sure if you wanted to, on some of them, engage the local municipal officials and see if one of them wanted to sit in with us, or do something like that. If they want.
Yeah, I haven't put any thought into it, really. I'm obviously fine with 10 or so minutes each talking about the projects and stuff we want to do.
Well, how about this? Why don't we do 15?
Okay.
We'll do 15 minutes each, and then that'll leave 45 minutes for Q&A.
Okay.
And
I would definitely invite the municipal officials, and for no other reason. Because a lot of questions that may come up are really municipal related.
Yeah, why don't we...
Probably be a good idea to have one of her staff members too, because I wouldn't want to be fielding or trying to answer questions related to state government.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe what I'll do is work with Pam to contact all the municipalities just to send them a notice just that the event's going on and that we would welcome their attendance, and then also send a copy of the agenda or the meeting schedule to Representative Rapp and Representative Hutchinson's offices, and then and then have an agenda included with it that'll just have that. And I figured what we would do is get, because we have a projector, get a projector and screen and everything, and then that's what we can project any presentations on, or images or anything else.
Yep.
Now you do have another state senator that represents Warren County, besides Hutchinson.
We could ask Michelle Brooks too. Yeah.
I just didn't know.
Especially up in Columbus, because we have one meeting up in Columbus.
Should just go by where we are. If we're in Columbus Township, invite Brooks, not Hutchinson.
Okay, that sounds good.
I have a question.
Sure.
Please do not turn these meetings into a work session attire. There are people out there that want to ask you individuals questions, and they don't want to sit like a work session and have you not give them the opportunity to ask. You're going to get a lot of questions from one township, I know.
From one person, I know.
But I just don't want to see it turn. It was suggested that you make it a work session. That'd be very boring. You wouldn't have much interest. But you want to hear the complaints. This is the golden opportunity for all these complainers to bring their questions to you, and if they don't, shame on them.
Yeah, I think that the goal is going to be to have presentations to say these are the projects that we're working on, because some of them, get lost in the shuffle. Like, I don't think people have an idea of all the different stuff that we're doing. A, and then B, which is probably the most important thing, is to have a give and take between the commissioners and whoever wants to attend and speak and ask questions at the events. And because even like last week I went to the Conewango Township meeting, and there were several people there, and we discussed the radio project and some of the other things, and everybody had a lot of questions. And so my hope is that people will attend these, and this will give them an opportunity to kind of address that, or complain or ask questions. Or
I'll make sure it's on Blade's webpage so they can, the ones that read it are there.
And the plan is to have some refreshments there, donuts, coffee, and other things for people that attend. And I would say if anybody has any specific topics that they'd like us to address, they could email or call the commissioners or call the courthouse and ask them in advance. I know I had one call from a gentleman in Conewango Township that wanted to talk about property taxes and reassessment and some other things. So, and he specifically asked that we address that. So.
Yeah, and people are asking from Columbus, Spring Creek area about the Corey School District apparently put out some letter basically implying that Warren County's taxes are, the Corey School District taxes being inordinately borne by Warren County residents, which is, not true. Yes, our millage is higher, but that doesn't mean that for an identical property we're charging more. So we just need to be able to explain what's going on with the millage rate and why it's different from Erie to Warren County. But I know a lot of people are kind of upset about that, so we'll need to be prepared for that.
People are upset about school property taxes?
Yes. Well, no, some are pushing for, some against reassessment in Warren County.
Yeah, no, I get it. So that would be a good topic to address.
I would say we don't probably need any sort of an MC.
No, I was just throwing it out there as, even at this point, I just want to be able to publish a rough agenda and post it on the county website and the county Facebook page and start kind of promoting all the events, like a bit heavier.
When you're at these meetings, are you going to ask the individuals that have the questions to identify themselves?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to ask related to that.
Well, I presume you're going to handle the technology side of it.
Yeah.
So when do you need our PowerPoints in by?
I would say, even if it's just I would say the beginning of the week. Like I'd say Monday would be good. Okay. Tuesday at the latest, because I think the event's supposed to be Wednesday night. So any kind of presentation materials or anything like that. And I'd like to print out the agenda, and if you have any handouts to go along with it, to have those printed out by Tuesday afternoon. Okay. Because I'm probably going to bring handouts on the north-south corridor, the recycling center, some of the other stuff.
I don't know that I will, but I'll
I mean,
definitely- I'll definitely
whatever you
do it.
got, whatever you want to do.
Okay. And basically for content, you're really just thinking like what we've accomplished over the last few years, where we're at, where we're going, what projects need to be prioritized.
Yeah, I mean, it's an open forum, so whatever you want to discuss. There are a handful of things that we've previously done that I'll probably discuss, but most of those are related to things that we're going to be working on or that I'm working on, you know.
Okay. Commissioner Morrison, do you have any thoughts?
Whatever you guys want to do is fine with me.
Okay. Any other project updates? Jeff, first?
Not this week. I mean, I have a bunch of stuff to discuss, but I'm still putting some of it together.
Okay. Commissioner Morrison, do you have any project updates?
No, nothing.
Okay. For my part, we need to I'm behind on my 50 and 50 campaign. We need to get some stuff on the schedule. We need to have a budget meeting where Eric will provide us with information about the first 2 quarters and how we're doing. That needs to be scheduled for probably late month,
So,
something like that.
yeah, I guess that's a good topic of discussion. I think he sent it to me. I'll have to check, but maybe he hasn't had it yet. He sent me the first third of the year, or the first quarter of the year, but I think he's putting together the first half,
Yeah.
right?
It'll be another week or so.
Yeah, so that's something that we should discuss. Is one thing I asked him to do was to put together a schedule for public hearings for the budget process in the fall. Previously, the county has met with the department heads individually and to discuss the budget and make proposals back and forth. And basically what I asked Eric to do was to contact Venango County and basically duplicate the process that they take, where they schedule them essentially at the beginning of the year, but we'll schedule them, obviously we'd schedule them now, let all of the directors know the dates and times, or work with them on dates and times, and basically propose a series of public hearings in order to have budget talks. So the entire discussion about budget will be an open process, start to finish, and with the idea of trying to get it done, like, you know, by the end of November, beginning of December, rather than the last week in December.
Oh, I mean, having it finally passed, yeah.
Yeah.
This means it really needs to be done at the end of October.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those will have to be advertised?
Yeah.
Well, we could probably do them during work sessions. I mean, there's nothing probably more important in the month of September.
Well, I just asked Eric to collect all of Venango County's data, and then so that we can have a discussion about it, because they really have a really good setup there.
Yeah, no,
And my point is like if we can just take and duplicate it, that would be great. Otherwise, if everybody decided that they just wanted to do it during work sessions and have it be a series of work sessions, that would be fine too. Just like we would want to make that decision one way or the other. And my point is we'd want to make that decision now so that we can get everything lined up, because it's going to be August in no time.
Yep. Yeah, I would think let's just take over the September work sessions, make them more lengthy, focus on the budget.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, yeah, we could do that too, is just block the afternoon off and then schedule all the meetings done. That would be fun too.
Okay, good. The radios, P25 radios, they are about to come to about to go to Harrisburg. I'm going to be down in Harrisburg, I think next week. I'm going to go to the Sheriff's Association meeting, since Ken is going to be installed as the president. Be there to support him, and at the same time I'm going to drop by, inspect the P25 radio stuff that'll be at a state police area. And then in the coming weeks after that, they're programming it, getting it ready, and then they'll be bringing it up here. So, but they do want one of us to go down and kind of look it over, talk to, of course.
That's something that I wanted to talk to you about is at the Conewago Township meeting, someone there that was related to the fire service in Conewago Township basically had a bunch of questions about the radio systems, and the township officials did too. And I realized some of them are more in tune with what's going on and what isn't. I think that we should make a point to have because next week we're not going to be at the COG. He's put together some kind of informational document to send to all of the township officials and the fire services too, just to reiterate how the agreement's set up and how the radio systems are going to function, just because they had some questions related to their long-term liability with the radio equipment, like as far as what their service, like the service costs are going to be, and stuff like that. And I just thought, as a matter of clarity, we should share more information with them.
We really do need to do that. I recognize that we need to send a letter out, and I did send letters out in between the gap for when we approved the Motorola agreement, but not the financing, and then after it was passed, I just completely dropped it. So, yes, I will need to do that, and that will undoubtedly be a topic of discussion for our work sessions around the county, whatever, town halls, excuse me.
Yep.
So, could you ask if Todd Lake would be able to make it to those, or somebody from public safety? Oh, we were going to go live with the new payroll system as of July 1st. Is that?
No, that's been pushed back.
Okay.
Not sure whether it's still the end of July or even into August.
Okay. I was just, hadn't heard anything about it lately. So, we got the letters out for Public Safety Fair.
When is that? Did you?
September 8th. Yep. Getting some great response already, from what I understand.
Well, I've just been amazed over the past year the number of people who have talked to me about it, like just made comments about it. We should do this at the Public Safety Fair. We should do that. So it's I think it's really great event.
Yep. Any update on our recycling center?
I guess, so we had the 3 quotes or whatever. Dan and I continued to research them pretty deeply, and we found that Tetra Tech was the best one out of the bunch. Dan called Bob Carlson, the president of the Solid Waste Authority, to talk to him about it, and then called some different references and got some other information. And so we're going to move forward with Tetra Tech. Basically, Bob Carlson has to call a impromptu meeting of the Solid Waste Authority in order to approve the contract in a public meeting for them. I'm pretty sure it'll have to be advertised and everything, and that'll be the entirety of the project. And then once that's approved, then we can move forward with bringing them in and having them actually work on the landfill situation. And so, which I think that hopefully that span of time won't be too long, because most of what they're going to end up doing is going through the test results and the documentation. The other thing is next Friday, it should be on your calendar, I think, we have a tour, or is it this Friday? It's this Friday. We have a tour of the landfill with the ANF in order to kind of go over the site. I'm pretty sure it's this Friday.
Grenville is next Friday.
Is it next Friday?
Yeah, the 13th.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's next Friday. I don't know. That's why. Thank God for Pam. I wouldn't know what plan on Monday.
You're early.
What's that?
You'd be early.
No, well, no, I wouldn't even show up. Like, it wasn't prepared. Yeah, so, and, the goal is going to be, again, to make sure that we take care of all of the ANF's concerns, try to provide as much information to them as possible, and move forward with the close of that site. Because that's really that would be the main long-term funding source for the recycling center, at least initially, and other projects related to it. One of the things, there's a couple other things related to it that I have to look into. The other thing is I'm scheduling a meeting with John Collins and Rusty and Ryan Arthur and the crew to discuss like work release and work crew related stuff that's kind of related to the recycling center, but other things as well, to kind of have a discussion about expanding, developing, reviewing that process. Just because I've been looking through the policy documents related to it, and I want to make sure that the county's getting everything out of it that it can, that the inmates are getting everything out of it that they can, and then also, just to get as clear a picture of it as we can, especially if we're going to utilize them in the recycling center, and then also, for the Master Gardener program, and there's some other things that I want to propose down the road. That if the work release program, work center, or work crew program isn't like completely matured, it's going to be really hard to do. Such as like stuff related to work that we can do with the municipalities and some other things.
By the way, related to that, we came up with a name for the Love Inc. Partnership. We're calling it Relate. Relationships that elevate lives and transform everyone. That would be that big-based partnership between jail and Love Inc.
Very good.
Yeah. That
Cool. Sounds great.
So we'll be getting documents together and be sharing more about that once things are sort of formalized. But it's looking really good. We had a meeting. I'm not sure if I already told you, but we did a prison board meeting. But we had 20-some people come, 20-some churches represented at the meeting where we kicked it off to see if churches were interested in doing the program. And,
that's awesome.
That's awesome. That's a third. I gave them like 5 days notice, and a third of the churches in the county showed up.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah. All right. Any other project updates?
Nothing formal.
Okay. Committees and/or departments.
You had made mention of the budget meetings. In the last report I got, there was a statement in there that the commissioners were going to meet with department heads regarding their current budgets. Is that still on track, or is what you're talking about now going to be kind of a...
What he was talking about was crafting the 2019 budget. I don't know if we're meeting with... I wouldn't think we should meet with every department unless there's a concern.
Yeah,
and we're not going to know that until we meet with Eric to go over the first couple quarters. So it'll be a couple weeks before we know.
When we went over the first quarter budget, everything looked in line. So our hope is that at the mid-year, like we've got information up through the first 4 months, I think, and so Eric's putting together all the information for the first half of the year. So most of the departments will probably be that are pretty straightforward. I don't know that we'll have mid-year budgets unless they're requested by, or mid-year budget meetings unless they're requested by the department head.
You're pretty even keeling your budget,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you most likely will not be.
As long as you didn't go out with the credit card and...
Okay. Schedule-wise, I'm here today, tomorrow, Thursday morning's the last board meeting, but Friday taking a vacation day for family reunion, and Thursday, of course, the holiday.
No, Wednesday's
Wednesday's a
holiday.
holiday.
I'm sorry, Wednesday. Yeah.
You're taking Thursday afternoon.
Thank you, Pam.
Thanks, yeah. Once again.
Yeah. Ben would have been here on Wednesday going, where's everybody? I didn't authorize this.
Which does remind me, by the way, last year, I went over to the county warehouse for the fireworks. I just kind of watched the fireworks from the county property.
Yep.
So I was kind of thinking of just sending out an email to all employees saying, if you want to come watch from there.
Do you think they're going to want to hang out with us?
I don't know. Matt said he was in, so it could be me and Matt just sitting there.
There you go.
Sipping something, watching the fireworks. So, I'm not. Is there an official rule that we cannot have alcohol on county property?
No.
I'm not aware of one, but I mean, obviously, it would be seriously frowned upon if you had alcohol in the office.
There you go. Now it's going to go over
However,
kegger at county warehouse.
Oh, I was just sitting here waiting to run out.
I was kind of wondering if there'd be any objection.
It's like, who's buying?
Would there be any objection from the commissioners as long as everything was kept, within reason? Maybe having a couple beers on county property or from the warehouse Friday evening watching the fireworks. Of course, no one would be on duty. It would be
Fireworks on Wednesday.
right. That's right.
You sure want to work on Wednesday?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have any problem with it. Unless there's some kind of incentive, I have a hard time believing everybody's going to ditch what they're doing and come over to the warehouse and hang out. There you go. Lori will be there.
All right.
You guys can throw down.
Me and Matt.
I'll be at my sister's in Pleasant Township, so.
There you go.
I mean, I really don't care if it is 3 people.
I never thought of watching that.
Yeah, well, the nice thing is that you can get right on the
That would actually be a good place to do it, because you can pull off the side of the road. There's a nice parking area.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best view, but
It's not a bad view, though.
it's not bad. It's not the best, but here's the best part: you don't get stuck in
Traffic. If you're going back up to Spring Creek,
Well, yeah, but you could also jump on Yankee Bush or whatever.
I guess you could go up.
Yeah, you can go on Paula.
Yeah.
Preston's a little bit.
Commissioner, it's a holiday. Enjoy your holiday and don't let people bother you because you're the county commissioner and you got a beer in your hand. It's a holiday.
Thank you for your vote of support.
You are entitled to some free time and the 4th has got to be one.
There you go.
All right. And there's no cause for executive session, right?
Believe so.
I'll skip over the meeting review for next week because it's next week. We can talk about it on Monday. So, anything else?
That was something, but I can't think of it, so no.
Okay. Thanks for coming. Meeting adjourned.